Today we will look at equations and how to solve them. We will go over simple linear equations and keep quadratics to a later video. Now I would like to revise with you how some people may solve this kind of equation. They would say, for example, minus 5 minus 5, those two cancel out, giving 3x equals 7x minus 8, and then they will go on to another step, which is minus 7x minus 7x, those two cancel out, leaving us with negative 4x equals negative 8. Then they go to a further step, which is dividing by the coefficient of x, dividing by negative 4, and that leaves us with x equals 2. Now this is, although it's correct, it's a very long way to solve such a simple equation. And we simply do not need to write all of this here and here and even here. So what I want to propose is a much quicker method to solve this kind of equation, sometimes even in one step. Let's look at the concept. The concept, when you subtract 5 from both sides, you do that because you're subtracting the same quantity from both sides that maintains the balance. This allows you to cancel the constants on this side, and that allows you to end up with 3x equals 7x minus 3 minus 5. So it is as if this plus 5 was moved to this side, but it came as a minus 5. So this is the shortcut that hides this concept behind it. So we don't need to do all of this work. What we can do instead is realize that if you want to move, as it were, a constant from one side to the other, you change its sign. If you want to move an x term from one side to the other, you change its sign. So your objective in solving this kind of equation is to put the x's on one side and the constants on the other. So let's say you decided that you want to put all the x terms on the left hand side. That gives you 3x minus 7x, because the 7x moved from the right to the left, equals what was on the right hand side was the negative 3, and the 5, which was positive, moves across to the other side and is written as a minus 5. This immediately gives you negative 4x equals negative 8. Now, I would rather not write this. It's more professional to say that, okay, you want to divide both sides by negative 4, so x equals negative 8 divided by negative 4, and that equals 2. In the case of such a simple equation, I would even accept doing a lot of things mentally. I know that I want to collect the x's on one side and the constants on the other, but I think to myself that if I move the 7x term to the left hand side, I will end up with a negative x term. So I may decide to move things in a different way. I may decide to put the constants on the left and the x terms on the right. So in my head, I can immediately say that when this negative 3 moves here, I will end up with a 5 plus 3, and I simply write an 8, equals the 3x moves to this side and becomes 7x minus 3x, which is 4x. Obviously, dividing both sides by 4 will yield x equals 2. And that's it. You don't need to do all this work and all this writing. So that's my first comment on linear equations. If you want to solve an equation with two fractions, one on either side of the equal sign, you usually do it by cross multiplication. And what you do is you usually write this, but I would appreciate not seeing this. You want to cross multiply, that gives you 10x equals 21, and then when you divide both sides by 10, it gives you x equals 21 over 10. You can leave it in this form, or you can write it as 2.1. That's absolutely fine. Now the thing is, what is cross multiplication? Well, cross multiplication is multiplying both sides of the equation by a certain number that will allow me to get rid of the fractions. And in this case, let's write it again here. What will help me get rid of the fraction is a multiple of 3 and 5. And it's best to take the lowest common multiple, which is 15. So what we are doing is we are multiplying both sides by the LCM of the two denominators. When you simplify, the 3 cancels out with the 15, leaving a 5. 5 cancels out with the 15, leaving a 3. And that's what appears as if you have moved the 3 from this side and to this side, and it came in as a multiplication. And the 5 that used to be in the denominator is now here in the numerator. So what appears as cross multiplication is basically multiplying both sides by the same constant. So keep this in mind when we look at the following question. Now what we have is a fractional equation, but we don't have one fraction on either side. So in this case, you cannot do cross multiplication. No cross multiplication. And in this case, you have to revert back to the old principle. You have to multiply both sides by a certain number that would allow you to get rid of the fractions. And again, this number, this magical number, is the lowest common multiple of 3, 6, and 2, which is obviously 6. So when you multiply both sides by 6, you get 5x divided by 3 times 6. The 3 cancels out with the 6, and you're left with a 2. 2 times 5x. I'm just writing this in detail. You can write 10x immediately. 6 times 15 over 6, the 6's cancel out and you're left with 15. Plus 6 times x over 2, the 6 cancels out with the 2 and you're left with 3, so that's 3x. And you're left with 10x equals 15 plus 3x. And then again mentally, you can move the 3x to this side and it comes in as in minus 3x, so you have 7x equals 15, and therefore immediately x equals 15 over 7. So this is an easy way to solve fractional equations. Multiply both sides by the lowest common multiple of the denominators, and this allows you to get rid of the fractions. The reason why the answer is so odd, 15 over 7, is that because students sometimes feel that they've done something wrong if they don't get an integer for their final answer. Now 15 over 7 is a perfectly good number. You don't need to get integers for your answers. You can sometimes even get negative fractions. That's okay, as long as your work is correct. To revise simultaneous equations, it's when you have two equations that you need to solve at the same time. Simultaneous means at the same time. You remember there are three methods, the first of which is substitution, and you are advised to only use substitution when the coefficient of x or y is either 1 or negative 1. Otherwise, you end up with fractions, and that's not really advisable. In this case, we have x has a coefficient of 1 and y here has a coefficient of -1. So we can decide to make y the subject or to make x the subject. Making x the subject here will involve less work. So x equals -8 minus 4y. And this is equation 2. Now what we do is we substitute equation 2 in 1. But keep in mind that we have x here and x here. So what we do is that we write 2, which is this 2, and in the place of x we write -8 minus 4y, and we continue with this equation, minus y equals 11. Expanding and simplifying gives us -16 minus 8y minus y is minus 9y equals 11. So -9y equals 11 plus 16, that is 27. So dividing by -9, y equals -3. That's your solution for y. Now in order to find the value of x, you use this equation, because you know that x equals -8 minus 4y, but y we have just discovered that it is -3, so this is -8 plus 12, which is 4. Your first solution and your second solution, which is basically the one solution of this pair of simultaneous equations. In this case, x equals 4 and y equals -3 satisfy both equations simultaneously. So if you substitute those values in the first equation, you will find that it is satisfied, and in the second equation, you will find that it is satisfied, and this is the only pair of values of x and y that will satisfy those two equations at the same time. On the other hand, with elimination, you don't need to have the same coefficients, or you don't need to have the coefficients of x and y as 1, but you need the same coefficients in both equations. So, in this case, we can multiply the first equation by 4. This gives us 8x minus 4y equals 44. Why did I choose 4? Because I know that I will end up with minus 4y, and if I look at the second equation, which is x plus 4y equals -8, I can now add the left-hand side to the left-hand side. It will equal the right-hand side plus the right-hand side. So if I add them both, those two will cancel out. I will have 9x. 44 minus 8 is 36. Dividing both sides by 9 gives me x equals 4. Now in order to find the value of y, you can choose either equation, either this one or this one. I would rather choose the top one because the coefficient is simply -1, not 4. It makes life easier for me, but it doesn't matter. 2x is 8 minus y equals 11. Rearranging, y goes to the left, to the right, and 11 comes to the right, so 8 minus 11 equals y, and y equals -3, which again is the same answer that we obtained before.